Thousands of subreddits have been set to private as an act of protest against Reddit's API changes. What is an API? It is an interface that allows communication between two apps. Apps can send and receive data without having to access the app, so with Reddit, third-party apps could access information from Reddit and use it in their apps. These third-party apps include Apollo and Reddit is Fun. Reddit's API has been free, so third-party apps like those two could be made for free, but starting from next month, Reddit is going to add a cost to access the API. From the 1st of July, apps that require higher usage limits will need to pay 24 cents per 1,000 API calls. According to the creator of Apollo, Apollo made 7 billion requests in May, which would cost $1.7 million. Multiplying that by 12, it could cost possibly $20 million a year. Quite expensive. John Oliver, a British comedian, has commended Redditors for their protest in a tweet, saying, "Dear Reddit, excellent work." Now many subreddits are full of his pictures. In an Ask Me Anything thread hosted by CEO of Reddit Steve Huffman, he responded to an anonymous user asking how he would address the concerns of users who feel that Reddit has become increasingly profit-driven and less focused on community engagement. Huffman responded, saying that Reddit would continue to be profit-driven until profits arrive. This seems to only add fuel to the fire, and yet, despite so many people being upset, subreddits are going back online because Huffman said that moderators would possibly lose their role. This is quite silly, I think, as Lewis Rossman said, as this is just a moderator role, where you can ban people and control subreddits online. This mod status is ultimately insignificant and does not affect real life, so to stop protesting over that is odd. I haven't used Reddit for that long, but I do spend some time on it. I'm not as invested in it as many other people are, so I'm not as enraged. But I feel that it would be best to not up the price since this would only alienate Reddit's own user base, which made it as popular as it is today. I suppose we will see how it goes in about 2 weeks when changes are in place. I like Reddit. I think Reddit's a good app. I use it to look at funny pictures. I use it to look at clothes. I look at it to get informed. If I have questions, I can go to Reddit, get my answers. I can use it to get IB resources, because there's a lot. There's an IB server. So yes, I think Reddit is a great app, and I'm just wanting the best for it. And if the best is to not up the API costs, then I think that is what should happen. I think the CEO should not be greedy. I think he should rethink everything and just bring peace to the community, because it's going on for too long and many of my favorite subreddits are down and it's just annoying at this point. However, I do think there is some good to come out of this situation in regard to the explicit content. So in the same AMA from before, the CEO of Reddit says, effective July 5th, 2023, we will limit access to mature content via our data API as part of an ongoing effort to provide guardrails to how explicit content and communities on Reddit are discovered and viewed. So they're going to add stricter restrictions to the NSFW content, which I think is good, because on many of the third-party apps like Blue Sky, it's harder to control the access to that those posts, especially by children, which is not good. And really, like, anyone can just look at it, and because there's so many subreddits out in NSFW, so I do think that there needs to be stricter rules in regard to that, which I think is a good thing. But I feel like they can take that good part without having to also, without everything else, like upping the prices, because that is actually destroying third-party apps and many of the features that help make Reddit a better platform.